Welcome to Cross Platform Podcast, where we discuss how to solve productivity problems across platforms. I'm Augusto Pinot,
And I'm Mark Gelwix.
and we are on our new tips of the week segment. And the first one we're going to cover is something that we were introduced recently called Volley. Volley is basically a way to send videos, okay, to have asynchronous conversations with other people. And it's been great. You can keep it in there. You get a unique URL if you want to send it to somebody who is not on Volley or you think will not
hmm
get Volley. Uh, and I've been playing with this in a couple of ways that are non traditional. Okay. I've been having conversations with Art, I've been having conversations with other people, but I've been using it to send a message to my parents every day. I every day
Oh,
send
really?
to my parents. Okay. And it's just a message. Okay. It's a text. I don't do voice. I don't like voice messages. I rarely do voice, but I can do a volley with the unique, send them via text. They will get the text and
hmm
will open a message. And it's me just talking to them. Hey, I'm just calling to check on you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye. Okay. But it is interesting because I begin sending the volleys, and then one morning I was in the run and I sent a text instead. And my mother wrote me back and said, "Where is the video?" So for her, has made a difference.
Yeah, Volley is a very interesting app. Like I said, we've been working with it back and forth. I've been participating in a couple of the communities that they have inside the app too. And just to provide a little bit more explanation, think about if you were to have the child of YouTube and Instant Messenger combined, where you could send text messages to people within the app, you could send voice messages to people back and forth, and you can send video segments up to 10 minutes right now,
Mhm.
possibly up to 20 minutes in the near future, that people can then respond back to in kind. And you can literally have, as the name says, this volley back and forth of conversation. Um, it's really a different kind of experience. It works extremely well with mobile, but it also works well on the desktop. And they've added in functionality such as threading to allow you to have a conversation back and forth and then take part of that conversation and dig down into it. There's a lot of capability there. The tech is pretty solid. The use cases are still developing. It's a very small company tied to it, but I think it's one of those platforms that could have some huge upsides, especially if you're in situations like, for example, working from home offices, and you don't want to spend your life in Zoom meetings.
Mhm.
Imagine a Zoom meeting that lasts a minute and a half, 2 minutes, allows you to ask a question, be very clear about it, make sure they understand the media and the message and what you're trying to get across. And that's it. And then you hang up. And then when they get the message, at whatever point they get to, they can respond to it and respond to it in kind. I think it's really intriguing. I think it's going to take some strategy to figure out how to make it best work for everybody, and it will work differently for everybody. But I hadn't even thought about your use case there. Are they consuming that on like an iPad or something? That's how they're getting that message?
Yeah, yeah, they're getting the link in an via iMessage and on their iPads, yeah, or their phone.
Okay, that's very cool. That's a
But
neat.
it's cool because I do for my company. I have a group of advisors,
hmm
okay, and I write normally it's a letter once a month to the advisors, telling them what I did, what I'm going, okay, and there is a reason for that, and they act as the informal board of directors, but it allows me to really look introspective what happened in the last 30 days in the business and where we are going to go, and it gave me a lot of or forced me to have a lot of accountabilities, because otherwise it's really hard to write the next letter saying well, nothing happened on the last 30 days. So I really need to pay attention to what is happening and what I'm going to write. So this month instead I sent a volley. It was way faster, way simpler, and I think they like it more.
Yeah, I can absolutely see how it would work well, especially in those types of environments, because again, there's no editing, there's no crafting that you have to go through. You don't have to go through and target a particular delivery. It's literally like walking up to somebody and having that shoulder tap conversation without having the actual interruption happening at the same time. It's just, I think it's a fascinating approach. So I'll be curious to see if they continue to grow and take advantage of it. I think they will. I think we'll see a lot of opportunities. And just for anybody who's watching, if you go over to Personal Productivity Club and you go into my profile in there and you look at my links, there's a link there for Volley. If you click on that, you can actually start a Volley conversation directly with me. So if you want to try
Oh,
it,
you did that. That's
I did
awesome.
that, yes,
I'm copying
because
that.
there's the ability to have a link that you can send out that anybody can trigger a conversation with you. And the nice thing is it's not like getting a Zoom call or not like getting a phone call. It's more like an instant message, and it gives you that opportunity to kind of mentally craft your response a little bit without having that formal polish that has to go with it. So I've added it into the Personal Productivity Club. So if you want to try Volley, go ahead and install it. It's just as it's named, volley.com. I think it's .com, but anyway, you'll find it. But then you can grab that link and give it a try.
So our next thing is something that you are going to brag about it. That is the Wise Color Wi-Fi bulb.
Okay, so this is one of those things that you ever buy one of those things, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get that, and that'll be nice. And once you put it into place, you realize, oh, wow, this is really cool. This can do a lot of different things. Wise, who have been a manufacturer of high quality, low priced IoT devices for a number of years. I have a number of their cameras and other things. But one of the things they make are light bulbs that are Wi-Fi enabled. There's no extra modules that attach to it or anything like that. Everything's built into the light bulb. So you just screw it into a lamp, connect it to an app, and then it's up and running. Well, most of the time, they're just regular light bulbs. They have their white light bulbs, which allow you to change the color temperature and things like that. Well, this color bulb allows you to go through 16 million possible colors. You can shift it to red, to blue, to green, to whatever. It's like, oh, that's great if I'm, hosting a rave, but what else am I going to do with that? Well, all of a sudden I realized that this is a crazy good light bulb if you're doing video casting, because I can at any time adjust the color temperature of the bulb and the color hue to match the lighting that I need. And I can set up different scenes within the app to say, I'm going to do an evening recording or I'm going to do a morning recording, and know that I can get the color saturation just right, all controlled right through the app. The other thing is that, again, being Wi-Fi enabled, it can be tied into your IoT devices at home. So I have mine tied into my Echo. So I can walk into my office and say, hey, Echo, turn on the office lamp. And up it comes, lit, ready to rock and roll. It's a little thing. It's not particularly expensive, but it's one of those things that gives you enough versatility that you can open up some new avenues and some new channels.
Yeah, that would be cool. And you were showing, for the people who is watching the video, you were showing something that was really cool for me at the beginning of the show, or the pre-show, and it was the change of the colors. And what I like about it is that my office has the problem that out of the four walls, three of them are windows. So in a moment like today, it's not a problem. In 2 hours, doesn't matter how I put the light, it doesn't make it. And I love that you can adjust that like you're doing right now on the video.
Yeah, if you're watching the video, yeah, it looks like I've walked into a rave because of the number of colors this thing's going through. It's got full controls and everything like that. What I like is that I can go through, I can change those configurations, I can change the temperatures and the layouts. Right now I've actually got the hue off a little bit. And a little too blue, a little too red, a little too bright. Yeah, that'll do for now. So again, that type of a functionality can be really, really useful, I think. And for some reason, I'm under a pink light now. But anyway, go ahead. All right, so what's the next thing we have here?
So our next is a toy, and I was trying to bring it to the screen and I couldn't. So I am going to describe and put the link on the show notes. But it's from a company called Moft, MOFT.us, and it's called the Snap Float Stand. And it's basically a stand for the iPad. So it glue, or it glue no, it attached magnetically to the back of the iPad or the back of your Android tablet. There is no glue, no nothing. And then to that, you attach the other part and basically will put the stand up. So instead of having the device, it will put the device on a vertical and lift. It's compatible to any tablet or any tablet. I don't know if they said about different sizes, but it basically goes to any tablet. It's 50 bucks, $49.90. But I really like it because as you're sitting on a desk, you can work with the angle of the tablet. So it's been something. They had it for the big iPad, for the 12.9, but I have not seen anything from them for the iPad mini. So I am really, really excited, and hopefully mine will arrive soon.
I was looking at it in the pre-show, and that the fact of how it attaches and the fact that it almost gives the level of control you have with the Magic Stand for something that's not an Apple device is really intriguing because, yes, like I said, I use a tablet quite a bit, but all the tablet stands are at the desk level. There's only so many degrees of inclination that you can put on it. The keyboard's always pressed up against the bottom if you have a keyboard. That device that you're talking about there makes it much, much more useful. And it makes it much more like a true, instant setup desktop than anything else. I mean, I could see that stand with a tablet and, like, say, the Logitech 840 keyboard and a mouse in a bag, and all of a sudden you got a desktop wherever you are, if you want it, and you just pull out what you're going to use. That could be that. To go back,
make it for a killer portable setup. Yes.
Well, to go back to earlier in our episodes this week, that really makes that tablet, again, much more of a competitor to carrying around a laptop.
Yeah. So, well, and with this, follow us where you like to listen to podcasts, like us, or subscribe to us, and leave us a review. You can also interact with us on personalproductivity.club. There is a cross-platform channel. So we are Gusto Pinot and Adriel Wicks. See you next time from your favorite device. Thank you.